Alright, welcome back to my channel, everybody. Got a good set of rocks to cut today. Again, these are all from the desert just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. And let's walk through these really quick. So this first piece doesn't look like a whole lot. Maybe some jasper or moss agate. Something about this made me want to cut it though. It may have been this side here where you can see a little bit of bubbles in there. Cool pattern. So let's cut that in half and see what's in it. Now this one is just it's got some pattern, mostly quartz, but I wanted to just cut it in half and see what it ended up looking like. Might be nice. Alright, so this one, it probably won't be anything. It's part of an egg, or nodule, I mean. We call them eggs. But it had broken open, and you could tell it does not look like agate. But it could be some moss or plumes, and these typically grow on the top of the plumes. So either keep this as a specimen or cut it just to see if there's plumes in it. I got enough specimens, so let's cut it. Alright, that one obviously has a nice window with some banded agate. Ooh, both sides. Negative crystal impression sticking into that. So probably cut right up here. See what kind of pattern we get. And this one looks like it's going to have some banded agate in it as well. I'm going to cut that long ways. Maximize what we may or may not see. This little guy looks like he's got some banded agate showing, so probably cut him that way. Alright, so looks like quartz, maybe some banding, maybe some moss or jasper. I don't know about this one. Should be interesting. Alright, so this is a nice texture and color to the skin. It does show banding and quartz both. So we'll cut it in half and see which it consists of mostly. Oh, excuse me as I knock my camera over. Alright, this piece here might just be a piece of chalcedony. I mean, it looks like agate, but I don't really see much in the way of banding. Whoops. Huh, that might be some saginite. That might just be the way the stone fractured too. Huh. Alright, I'll be curious to see what's in that. Alright, so this little guy here obviously is going to be a banded agate. He might have a bad fracture. Can't tell because it's just underneath this broken face. So I'm going to cut a thick slab off of this and see what the face looks like. If it's good enough, we might be able to cab that heel. Alright, see what else we got here. Alright, this is showing some banding. Ooh, banding. Banding. It's definitely going to be banded. Question on this one is, how do you cut it? Probably cut it. I don't know. I wonder if I could cut this diagonally through here, or Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Because that's pretty big face, face, face. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try to cut it diagonally. Don't always do a good job, but we'll see what I can do. And then the last piece here. Weird little nodule. Looks like some banded agate showing. Alright, let's cut him in half and see what the bands look like. Alright, got a good bunch here, I think. Got a good feeling about these. So let's get these off to the saw. We'll get them cut. And we'll see what's in them. Alright, cool. Be right back. Alright, everybody. I am back from the saw. Let's see what we got. So this first one, wasn't sure if it had anything cool or not. There were some signs that it might have some agate. I'm guessing that agate was just right here at the top because not in here. You can see a little bit of it here. The rest of this was just rhyolite or something. I mean, it would take a polish, but it's rather uninteresting. All right, just in the yard. Okay, next up we got the one that had the spots on it with the jersey covering it, hoping for some plume. Let's see how we did. All right, well, not plume. Brecciated material with the, like rhyolite inside of agate or chalcedony maybe. I don't really see any banding. I guess there's some spots where there might be a little bit, but very pitted, rather uninteresting. I think the outside of this rock's the most interesting part. All right, that'll be a decorative rock. Next up, okay, so this guy had signs of stuff all over, including quartz. So I didn't have a lot of hope, but just wanted to cut it and see, since it was a big piece, what might be in it. And we do have some tubes. It is mostly quartz. It's a big piece, but I'll probably just throw that in a tumbler. All right. Up next, had kind of a flat nodule with a window. Let's see how it did. Well, definitely had some quartz in this one. The banding is nice. It's got those little platelets and whatnot in it. Still might look cool polished. Or tumbled. I'll just throw that in a tumbler. All right, cool enough. All right, next up we had that big chunk. I wasn't sure what was going to be in it. So, let's see what it is. All right, kind of a mossy looking stuff. It's got some banding in it. All right, pretty good surface. Doesn't have a lot of fractures, or I don't see any fractures actually. I meant to say it doesn't have a lot of pitting, if any. I guess it's got a little around the edge in spots, but the metal is pretty solid. Huh. That might make a nice face polish. It's pretty cool looking. It's got that kind of blue-gray color with the brownish moss-like occlusions in it with a little bit of white banding. All right, cool. Okay, I messed this next one up. So I had this face, and I had this face, and I was wanting to cut here. I'd set this up in the saw. I don't have a vise in this particular saw, and it's an oil-based saw, so I can't really see what's going on once I start cutting. But again, I'd set the stone in there the way I wanted it, turned the saw on, and then reached in and pushed it through. Apparently, the stone tipped over and it cut the wrong direction. So I ended up with this. Not that it was going to matter too much. There was a fracture in it, but the banding would have been really cool. It's got some nice color. It's got the little galaxy stuff going on. Definitely worth tumbling though. All right, next up, I had that piece that didn't look like it had any banding, and I thought maybe just chalcedony. And now that I got it wet, I can see a little bit of banding here. I thought this might have some saginite, but I was wrong. This was a banded agate. This side is just on the edge of the really cool pattern, so not much showed up in it. Double that. This piece though, you can tell there's more banding going on down in here. Came out really nice. This might be worth taking another cut at some point. And if not, I'll face polish it. All right, very cool. Next up, had that kind of a odd, rough shaped nodule. Looked like it was gonna be banded though. Let's see how it came out. Ooh, very nice, very translucent, nice color, nice banding. Very, very translucent. Well, this one's definitely worthy of a face polish. That's really cool. See how translucent that is. Very cool. Yeah, definitely gonna face polish that. All right. All right, next we got that broken flat nodule. They had a good face and some fractures. And again, I was wanting to cut it just on that side of the fracture. And it must have slipped. You can tell it kind of pushed down in. Ended up cutting way further back than I wanted. So I might be able to cut that again. But let's see how this came out first off. All right, very nice pattern. This will look cool in the tumbler. I don't know, maybe a real high dome cabochon freeform out of that. I like this top better than that, personally. So either I cut it again or hope that fracture doesn't go through and just do a dome, real high dome on this guy. Or I throw it in the tumbler with the other half. I don't know. All right, very cool. All right, next up we had that kind of a long, clear, light-skinned nodule. Looked like it was going to be banded. Let's see what we did. Ooh. Let's look at this side first. It does have a healed fracture, but I'm completely healed if it's a fracture at all. Might just be a weird coloring in the lines. Can't tell. This is paint from the saw blade. Very translucent on the edges. Does not look like a fracture. up here maybe. But if it is, it's completely healed, refilled in with agate. Let's look at the other half. This side looks much cooler. Yeah, I guess that was a fracture because it's kind of coming apart a little there. Alright, well, based on that, I'll probably just face polish these. The pattern is really cool. The banding is really cool. The colors are pretty cool. Alright, face polish. Alright, 2 left. Alright, next up. So this one was banded with a little bit of quartz in the middle. On that end anyway, so let's see what it was about here in the middle. Oh, no quartz. Perfect pattern. Fortification bands are awesome. That's nice. Well, I may have to take a slab off of each of these for cabochons. Those would make really nice cabs. And then I could face polish the rest. That is perfect. Very nice. Same with this side. Love that thick white banding around the outside there. That is really cool. All right, very, very nice. Okay, last up. We had the one that I was going to try to cut diagonal between the faces, and I actually didn't screw this one up. Let's see how it came out. All right, it's really cool looking. A little bit of paint, tiny little fracture. That's neat. It's got some waterline agate inside of the banded fortification pattern instead of the quartz. And then the perfect banding going on this side. You look up in the skin, you can see those orbs or platelets. That's really cool. Definitely worthy of a face polish. Okay, and this side looks even nicer. Fracture goes into here too. Well, other than that, that's super cool. Look at that. That is a wicked pattern. And the banding is so tight and shadowy. Yeah, definitely got some parallax going on there. All right. Very cool. Because of that little fracture, I'll probably just face polish this, but that is an interesting agate. All right, well, that is the last one in this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you in the next one. Bye.